conduct this?
It's not a matter of it's not possible. Yes, Mr. Darden will be able to conduct this, Your Honor, but this is an important witness, and it is important that I be here. We collaborate, Mr. Darden and I, on everything, whether I'm presenting the witness or he is. And I'm sure the court has already seen evidence of that. And I had no idea the court was going to order the jury in for tonight. There was no way of knowing that you were going to do that. I mean, you didn't even tell us. This was just, the last-minute thing, given the problems.
As soon as I decided that the option of conducting a 1335 that's videotaped and taking a witness out of order in front of the jury, of those two options, I like taking the witness out of order much better than videotaping them.
And obviously the court has discretion to do that. I'm not arguing with the court's authority to do that, but, Your Honor, I guess I can't be here. And if the court had informed me...
Ms. Clark, I'm sorry. I apologize to you. I had forgotten that problem. And that's my fault for having forgotten about that. What is your time pressure at the immediate moment?
At the immediate moment, I have to leave. I won't be able to get back until 8:30 or 9.
This evening?
Right. I can come in tomorrow.
All right. Mr. Jones, would you ask Ms. Lopez to join us, please? Ms. Whites?
We heard something.
I'm sorry?
We heard something.
Sure. Mr. Cochran?
I am sensitive to the child care needs of our counsel, Ms. Clark, Your Honor, but the court has made your decision. That's why we have a number of lawyers on each team. There'll be various parts of this case where lawyers will not be present. This is Mr. Darden's witness. I can understand this argument. It'll be more compelling if this was not Mr. Darden's witness, but as the court has seen, Mr. Darden is absolutely capable of conducting this examination. He has Ms. Sherry Lewis, he has Mr. Yokelson, and he has any number of other VAs upstairs who can assist. It's with everything else, and I want to be sensitive about this, is a balancing process. We have a lady who does not want to come back and, of course, made a finding after today, and it's a difficult problem. You can make your query, but I'd like at least to be heard in this regard. I think that Ms. Clark can be here for the part that she can, or come back, but I think you made the decision. We should move ahead. If we're going to have 20 jurors coming and all the rest of us, in this situation, when this is Mr. Darden's witness, it seems to me we should be able to proceed ahead. This is an extraordinary situation, and I think you made the right decision, and I think that we should go forward. And when Ms. Clark can rejoin us, then so be it. But this is Darden's witness.
Well, the difficulty, though, Mr. Cochran, is that Ms. Clark has been and continues to be the lead prosecutor. And given your role in this case, were you to be absent for a part or be required to be away, I would call a recess for you as well. And we've made adjustments for Ms. Clark's child care requirements, and that's something the court is more than willing to do. And I just plain forgot.
I start off by saying I'm sensitive to that, but as the court heard earlier, we did. No, I am. But Darden still is going to do the witnesses. There is direct examination before Darden gets a chance. Mr. Darden. But I was just trying to, if I could have just a second.
Sure.
Supposed to be one of their most critical witnesses, Your Honor. Certainly.
Well, I'm told the jurors are here. Okay. See, I've really been hiding them somewhere in the courthouse.
In the building, I think. You're going to inquire, Ms. Lopez. I'll have something more to say after that.
Yes, Mr. Jones.
Yes, Your
Good evening, sir. And Madam Interpreter, would you interpret the court's comments for Ms. Lopez? Mr. Jones, I have made a finding that your client is a material witness, and it was my intention, in fact, I have ordered the jury brought over because I was going to exercise the court's discretion, alter the order of proof, allow the defense to call Ms. Lopez as a witness out of order and testify in front of the jury. And I have been told that the jury is, half of it's probably here at this point, and Deputy Browning confirms that. I had completely forgotten about Ms. Clark's child care obligations, and I have deep admiration for her as a single parent and understanding the obligations of a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and it's something that's beyond my control at this point, and she is the lead prosecutor, and she's entitled to be here when we examine this witness before the jury. Having made a finding that and it was my intention to start right now with the jury and go until we finish. And the jurors had not been in session today, so they would have been fresh, and we could have gone till midnight. And my staff is ready to stay till midnight. But I have to drive half the staff home tonight because they're missing trains. So we plan to do this. Unfortunately, and that's having made the finding that your client is likely to leave, I'm now in a position that, having determined that she's a material witness, having taken as credible her testimony that she is going to leave, I'm in a situation where I have to either impose a material witness bond on her under 1332 or incarcerate her if I cannot get her to promise me that she'll obey my court order to return on Monday. So we're sort of in a dilemma at this point. Would you take a moment? I know you've talked to your client about it already, but we're in a slightly different, significantly different situation at this point.
I understand, and I will take the time. However, we have discussed it at length. I've discussed with her the various alternatives, and I've even, in anticipation of the people's, and I assume it's the people's request that some bond be set. But we talked about that as well. She does not want to be locked up.
And believe me, Mr. Jones, the last thing in the world I want to do is do that.
Your Honor, what I would ask is permission of the court to let Mrs. Lopez address you. I simply cannot do it with the emotions that she expresses to me. She's very upset.
I understand.
May she address?
I want to allow her. I have accepted her testimony to me that she is going to leave. I have accepted that as true. And I've also accepted that she is a material witness and should testify before the jury. And the jury is available. I have a logistical problem that one of the lawyers cannot be here, who is entitled and should be here, Ms. Lopez. And Ms. Lopez, I apologize to you, but I've made the finding that I believe that you are going to return to El Salvador.
Did she address the court?
Certainly.
Please? I also am sympathetic to the child care problems of a single parent. However, I would indicate to the court that consistently it has been Mr. Darden who has contacted me with respect to, or messages on his behalf, indicating he is the one who wants to interview her. And we are at this late hour, in my opinion, simply because Mr. Darden has wasted the afternoon with questions that I think have to do with my attorney fees and my fee arrangements. And we set this on a Friday. There's no guarantee that we can get out of here at 4 o'clock. And I just think if we have to balance the equities here, on the one hand, having Mr. Darden, who wanted to interview her, who took the afternoon, who requested the Friday setting, against Mrs. Lopez being locked up, I think the equities fall on her side.
Well, she doesn't have to be locked up, but she'll promise me she'll come back on Monday.
May she address the
And
court?
I'll make arrangements to have her housed over the weekend. Ms. Lopez, do you have something you wish to say? Good evening.
Quería ir, yo no quería estar aquí más.
That I wanted to leave. I don't want to be here any longer.
Todos los reporteros me han destrozado mi vida.
All these reporters have destroyed my life.
Ya no puedo salir a ninguna parte, tengo tanto temor para tantas cosas y yo no
I
sé qué
can't go
hacer.
out anywhere. I am so afraid of so many things. I don't know what else to say.
Y yo prometí venir ahora porque dijeron que ahora terminaba esto y yo me podía ir al tomar que terminar esto, me podía
I
ir.
promised to come today because I was promised that this was going to finish today and then I could go to El Salvador.
All right, Ms. Lopez, unfortunately, it does not look like we are going to finish today. And I have the feeling, unfortunately, that your situation will not likely improve when you return to El Salvador. But I have to balance the fact that you are an important witness for Mr. Simpson and that the prosecution is entitled to ask you questions in front of the jury.
Yo le agradezco mucho a
I am very
usted
grateful to you
y también a los señores jurados
and also to the jury
que estén tan tarde por mi culpa.
that they're here so late because of my fault.
Pero yo deseaba con toda mi alma irme mañana para mi país.
But I wish with my heart that I could go tomorrow back to my country.
Ms. Lopez,
Señora
the
Lopez.
planes fly, as you know, to El Salvador on a regular basis. I will start your case, your testimony in front of the jury, the first thing we do with the jury Monday at 9
Lo voy a
o'clock.
hacer por usted,
I
señor
will
juez.
do it for you, Your Honor.
All right, do you promise me that you'll obey my order to return?
Sí.
Yes.
May I make one suggestion? Your Honor?
Sure.
Puede sugerir algo, su señoría. Sí.
May I make one
Su
suggestion?
señoría, ¿puedo sugerir una cosa?
May I be excused?
Yes.
Just before, I did check, maybe it relates to Ms. Clark, if you just one second, if you can. Would the court consider, I think Ms. Clark mentioned this earlier, would the court consider having made your finding an unusual Saturday morning session where we could try to conclude this? Ms. Clark can do it, we can all do it, and it would still allow Ms. Lopez to make that 11 o'clock flight tomorrow night. And would the court consider that? I think everybody could do it. It would get us back on track for Monday morning. We're on our new schedule Monday, and it seems to, if the court has made this finding, it would be, it better balances what you were talking about. It gives her a chance to leave tomorrow night, and we could finish this thing in one day. The jurors will be here anyway tomorrow, and I think Ms. Clark can do it. That seems to be fair.
We've scheduled other things for the jurors tomorrow.
Fijamos otras cosas para el jurado mañana.
Planes do go to El Salvador
Sí, es Daniel.
twice.
That's not the answer.
Well,
Daniel, sí, El Salvador.
no, I, frankly, counsel,
Francamente, señor abogado,
we need to have a weekend in between.
necesitamos un fin de semana.
Monday morning, 9 o'clock. The other matter that we scheduled 9 o'clock we'll put off to another day. Madam, Mr. Robinson, would you contact Deputy Downs and tell him Tuesday?
That's fine. Your Honor, you recall she has no place to stay. May we approach?
Yes, we'll make arrangements for that. All right, Mrs. Lopez,
Señora López,
just so we're clear, I'm going to order you to return Monday morning at 9 o'clock. I'll make arrangements for your housing between now and Monday. Do you understand that?
Hoy esa fecha, ¿entiende usted?
Y no quiero reporteros en el hotel donde me deje Johnnie, yo no
And
quiero
I don't want
reporteros.
any reporters at the hotel where Johnnie takes me to. I don't want any reporters.
I'll do my best to
Voy a
assure
hacer
that.
todo lo posible para
Así
asegurar.
hago lo best for you.
I'll do my best for you.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Lopez.
Thank
Why don't you
you.
have a seat, and we'll talk with you and your attorney in a moment. All right, and if there's nothing else to put on the record, All right, thank you, counsel. What do you suggest I do with our jurors since I have them all in the back room now? Tell them something? Thank them? Actually, I think I will, because they've been,
They're going to notice Ms. Clark's absence, Your Honor. I don't think that's...
well, that's,
I don't think that's...
we've dragged, we've,
blame something on her implicitly, wondering why they're here and then they leave.
no.
Please bring him out, thank you for coming.
No, I'm gonna tell them that we had an unusual situation. There was a possibility we were going to call a witness out of order. We had some difficulty in doing that. Sorry for the inconvenience. We'll see him Monday. All right, let's have the jurors, please. Ladies and gentlemen, be seated. All right, records should reflect that we've been joined by people who look like our jury. Ladies and gentlemen, let me first of all welcome you back to court. As you can see, it's rather late on a Friday, and we're still working. We've been in session all day today, and I made a decision about an hour ago that there was an unusual situation where I was going to call a witness out of order and present that witness to you this evening. After I made that decision, another problem came up that indicated that we could not go forward with that testimony this evening. I was planning on going till midnight tonight with this witness if necessary because of the situation that arose. Things have changed and suddenly we're not going to do that, but that's why you were brought over and that was my intention. So I apologize to you for embarrassing you like this. And bringing you over because now something's changed and now we're going to quit and start again fresh Monday morning at 9 o'clock. But I thought I should at least tell you why you were rousted out from your location, brought over here, and told that we were going to proceed. I didn't mean to embarrass you. And I appreciate your good humor with all of this and bearing with us. This is going to be an unusual trial and things like this are going to happen, I'm sure, again. I see some nods. You know that this is not easy for all of us. I know that you're all impressed to see all of us here still working at 10 minutes after 6 on a Friday. But from the smiles I can see, I haven't antagonized too many of you. All right, so we'll see you again. Remember my admonitions to you, though. Don't discuss the case amongst yourselves, form any opinions about the case. Don't conduct any deliberations till the matter has been submitted to you, and do not allow anybody to communicate with you regarding the case. There are some other things that I'll need to talk to you about on Monday, but I'll see you Monday. All right, have a nice weekend. All right, we're in recess, 9 o'clock.